Hi, everybody. I want to start by thanking Columbia Journalism School for organizing this event, and I want to give a special shout out to your dean, Jelani Cobb, without whom we wouldn't be here today. Dean Cobb has never been afraid to tackle tough issues, so last summer I reached out to him to talk about the role of the press in strengthening our democracy. What I didn't expect was that less than a year later, he would organize a series of events to explore the issues and debate solutions. That's exactly what he did, and I'm grateful to everyone who's participating, including some of the brightest minds in media and academia who are actively working through these challenges every single day. I talk a lot about how democracy is neither inevitable nor self-executing. Citizens like us have to nurture it. We have to tend to it and fight for it. And as our circumstances change, we have to be willing to look at ourselves critically and make reforms that can allow democracy not just to survive, but to thrive. That's especially important right now. Our democracy has always faced its share of challenges, but increasingly it feels like we're at an inflection point with rising inequality, deepening polarization, and widespread disinformation. At the same time, we're also trying to adapt to advancements in technology like AI that could profoundly change our world. If we want to preserve our democratic ideals, we need to face these trends head on, and we need all of you to help us do it. Journalists have always been on the front lines of the struggle for democracy, and some of you have the scars to prove it. And that's why it's so important to find creative ways to reinvigorate quality journalism. It's why we need to keep standing up for the rights of journalists around the world, many who are facing increasing threats and challenges just trying to do their jobs. So what does all this mean for us? As a private citizen, although one that can still get a fair amount of attention, I plan to keep shining a light on the biggest challenges that democracy faces. That includes revitalizing our political institutions, coming up with more inclusive and sustainable models of capitalism, and creating a stronger democratic culture, but it also means creating an information environment that reinforces rather than erodes our democracy. One in which truth matters. One in which we are able to distinguish between fact and opinion. One in which we're able to tell a common story and not just a bunch of separate stories that reinforce our biases and our prejudices. These are areas where we're going to have to do better for our democracy to stay strong. And you are going to be on the front lines of making that happen. I want to challenge all of you to think about how you can make a difference, both individually and collectively, to the cause not of any particular politics or political party, but to the cause of facts and accuracy and truth and credibility. And that includes all of you who are students. You're going to be shaping the future of journalism and the media. And there are going to be times where business models and technologies are making it tougher for you to do your job. There are going to be moments in which it feels like the only way to get attention is to try to engage in the sort of opinion journalism that gets people angry and riled up and resentful, or just creates controversy and gets attention, and hot takes and clickbait. The problem is, if that's all we're doing, then it's going to be harder and harder for us to determine and distinguish between truth and fiction. It's going to be harder for us to be able to have reasonable debates in the marketplace of ideas. It's going to be a lot easier for those who want to polarize us and break us apart. And it's going to be more difficult for us to self-govern. So what you do next, the imagination, the innovation, the determination that you're able to apply in your jobs is going to help determine the fate of our democracy, whether democracy gets stronger or whether it gets weaker, whether people become more divided or can come together to solve some of our biggest problems. Events like this are a great start, a way for us to begin to get some frameworks around these issues and hopefully come up with some solutions. And I'm really looking forward to following your progress. But I hope you understand how important the work that you do is and why it's going to matter to all of us. Let's get to work.